Hello, this is the Happy Thought, and I just want to tell you how I ended up with my KLR650 2009 Kawasaki. Last year I was driving a lot to and from my store, about a 40-minute drive, and I was starting to think that the gas was getting expensive, and I always saw people out on their motorcycles. So I said to my husband, maybe we should get a motorcycle. And I think maybe he'd been waiting for me to say those words for years because he knew exactly what kind of motorcycle he wanted to get. So needless to say, he got a 2008 Kawasaki KLR650 Dual Sport. And it's a cool bike. He loved it. He got a bunch of friends together who had motorcycles, went out riding, took it off-road, and he just loved his bike. So this year, we were talking about it, and I was thinking maybe I'd like to have my own bike, but I wasn't sure. So he's like, well, why don't you ride my bike around and see how you like it. So I took it down the road, went to go turn it around on a hill and dumped it. Thankfully he had the cage on it, so I didn't screw it up, and I was really happy about that. But I was standing next to it trying to figure out how to lift it up, because with all his accessories, it's about a 500-pound bike, and I was trying to lift it uphill. Not a really good idea. So I was pretty convinced after I dropped the bike and couldn't pick it back up that perhaps maybe I didn't need a motorcycle. So my husband said, no, you need to get back on and ride it. So we took it over to a church parking lot, and he had me ride it. Do figure eights, both directions for about an hour, start, stop, turn, until it felt really, really comfortable. And I think at that point I was in love with my motorcycle, or wanting to get a motorcycle. So we decided to go and get me a brand new motorcycle and get a dual sport so that I could go off-road with Todd, because there's just so many different spots for us to take the bikes off-road, and we'd like to take road trips and go camping. And so I went down and bought my bike. I hadn't got my license yet, my permit, so Todd took the bike home, and I went in and took the test and got my permit so that I could ride my bike. And that is the story on how I ended up with a Kawasaki Dual Sport. Now, it's a 650, which is a really big bike, so we had considered getting me something smaller, but I kind of figured I would end up with a bigger bike because I wanted to be able to go on long rides with him and rides with the guys, and I thought once I got used to the bike I'd probably just go in and trade it in. So I took the plunge and got a big bike to begin with, and I'm really happy with it. I mean, it took about a month and a half before I got on the bike without being filled with gut-wrenching fear and my stomach in my throat. That was combined with excitement, but I think it was all worth it in the long run because I love my bike, and we've gone off-road with it, and we've gone camping with it, and I can keep up with our friends who have the Ninjas, and overall it's a fabulous bike. I don't think I could ask for a better bike. Now, granted, I haven't really ridden any other bikes, so I don't know for sure if I wouldn't fall in love with something else, but I definitely like the idea of the dual sport, because here in Washington we have tons of mountains that haven't been explored, and every other week we're out there in the mountains taking a new trail. My husband has a GPS, thank goodness, because I think sometimes we might get lost if we didn't have a GPS. But we're just up in the mountains trying to find new spots to go and cool things to see, and I really just love it. So anybody out there who's considering getting a dual sport, they're fabulous. Last weekend our friend borrowed our dual sport, went up in the mountains with my husband, and now he wants one. He rides a Ninja, and he loves his Ninja, but he said he loves the dual sport even more, and he thinks he's going to go trade it in and get a dual sport.